Miss, you might mute.
All right, good morning and welcome. We are continuing with the statistics question of the January 2021, and the question reads 60 students. So let us underline 60 students. So we know that the number of persons in this distribution is 60. Which comprise of 15 multiple choice, and the number of correct answers that each student obtained is recorded in the table below. Using the table, determine the number of students who had exactly 13 correct answers. So from our table here, the number of students who had 13 correct answers is 11. Did you all get that answer?
Yes, Miss.
Right? They are asking for the mode. So we are going to this column and we are looking for the number of students, which is the largest number. And the largest number in this table is 14. Now, 14 isn't the mode. They are asking for the number of correct answers. So 14 persons had 9 correct answers. So therefore, the number of correct answers. What I want to emphasize is that you are choosing a number from the correct answer column. So if you put 14, 14 isn't the number of students here. We want the number of correct answers. So when you are choosing your answer, make sure it is that column that you are choosing your answer from. So 14 students had 9 correct answers. So the mode is 9. Because the data here is ungrouped, the median is a half of n plus 1. When the data is grouped, we will use a half n. So it is a half of 60 plus 1, which is a half of 61. The median is 30.5. So we're looking at the 30.5 value. So we're going to do this the long way and we're going to do it the short way. 6 students had 8 correct answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8 occurs 6 times. 14 children had 9 correct answers. So 9 occurs 14 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2 children had 10 correct answers. So 10 occurs twice. And 6 children has 11 correct answers. So we are looking for the 30.5 value, which is half of 30 plus 31. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28. So I have to add 12 occurring twice and 13 as well. 28, 29, 30. So it is the average of these two values. So it is a half of 12 plus 13, So the median is 12.5. Now, this was time consuming to do. Is there another method of finding the median based on these numbers without having to list all the data? Yes, there is. So we are going to find the cumulative frequency. So 6, then 6 plus 14, this is 20. We didn't reach number 30.5 as yet. 20 plus 2, this is 22. We keep going. 22 plus 6, 28. We keep going. 28 plus 2, this is 30. So we need the 30th value and the 31st value. So therefore, we add 12 and 13 and divide it by 2. So whichever method you prefer, you can take it out.
Mean, median, and mode.
So I want to go a step further. I want to show you all something. So 13 occurs 11 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 14 occurs 9 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 15 occurs 10 times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. To find the median, we cross the numbers until we reach the middle. Not so? Do we cross the numbers until we reach the middle to find the median? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Right. So let's cross it, and I want to show you something. Now, when the data is an even set of scores, remember that? When the data is an even set of scores is the average of the two. Do you all remember that from the last day?
Yes, miss.
All right, so let's look at a video in case you're really not getting it. So let's look at this video.
Following data from
values 4, 1, 3,
Are you all seeing?
Yes, miss.
5, 3, 2, 3. To find the mean, just add and divide. Add the data values and divide by the number of data values. 4 plus 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 7 is equal to 21 over 7, which is equal to 3. The mean is 3. Note that the number of data values is 7, which is odd, and this is important in finding the median. First, you have to arrange in ascending or descending order. In ascending order, we have 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. The middle value is 3, meaning our median is 3. Mode is the value that appears most often. 3 appears 3 times, so the mode is 3. Remember that the number of data values is odd. What if it is even? Find the mean, median, and mode for the set of data values. 3, 5, 2, 4, 2, 2. To find the mean, add the data values and divide by the number of data values. 3 plus 5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 divided by 6 is equal to 18 divided by 6 is equal to 3. To find the median, arrange the data values 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. The middle values are 2 and 3. To find the median, just add the middle values and divide by 2. 2 plus 3 divided by 2 is 5 over 2, which is equal to 2.5. Mode is the value that appears most often. 2 appears 3 times, so the mode is 2. Note that the number of data values here is even. Try this. Find the mean, median, and mode. 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 9 is 20, plus 7 is 27, plus 3 is 30. 30 divided by 5 is equal to 6. To find the median, arrange it first. 3, 4, 7, 7, 9. The median is 7. Mode is the data value that occurs most often. 7 occurs twice. The mode is 7. Mean is 6, median is 7, mode is 7.
So in that video, we saw to find the median for data that is not grouped. If we have an even set of data, it is the average of the two middle values. If the data is odd, we can automatically identify the median because it is the central value of the data. Now, I want to be very clear as to that, because in case you get it for an exam, for group data, it is a half of n. For ungroup data, it is the half of the two middle values if the data is an even, right? And you could do it either way. If you prefer to list all the data and find the two middle, that is fine, or you can count coming down. Whichever method you prefer to find the median, you can do so. The next part, the probability. Yesterday I mentioned CXC likes to bring probability with statistics. You see this word at least, underline it and write 12 or more. If I said that I have at least 12 students in my class at this point, it means that I have 12 or I can have more than 12, right? So 12 at least, the word at least have a special meaning, and it means that specific number or more. So let us go to the data and see how many students had at least 12 correct answers. So I'm going to erase here. So they can have 12 or more than 12. So the students can have 12 answers. They can have 13 because 13 is more than 12. They can have 14 because 14 is more than 13. Or they can have 15 because 15 is more than 12 as well. So add these numbers to me. 2, 11, 9, and 10. Add those numbers and give me the total.
32.
Right. So we have 32. So 32 students had 12 or more correct answers. And how many students are there in the distribution? How many students did we start off in the distribution with? 60. So the probability that a student has 12 or more is the probability that is the number of students with 12 or more correct answers over the total number. So it is 32 over 60. 4 could divide into 32 8 times, and 4 could divide into 60 15 times. So the answer is 8 over 15. So please take it out if you don't have it. All right, can we move on? Is anyone still writing? A group of students wrote a physics examination. Each of the students achieved a grade 1, a grade 2, or a grade 3 or 4. The pie chart below shows the results. 39 students achieved a grade 3. So let us underline that. Determine the total number of students who wrote the examination. Now, we have to use the data given in the question. The data tells us that 117 degrees represents 39 students. A circle has 360 degrees. So if 117 degrees is 39 students, therefore, 1 degree will be 39 over 117. And 360 degrees is 39 over 117 by 360. So there are 120 students in the distribution. Do you all understand how I got that?
Yes, miss.
So
Yes, miss.
take it on and let us look at the next part with ratio, because I am almost 100% certain that you're going to get something to do with ratio. Take it on, please. All right, is anyone still writing? Is anybody still writing?
No, miss.
So let us read what they give us in the ratio question, because everything that they want you to answer is in the question, especially in ratio. The ratio of the number of students who attained. So let us write that. That is the first thing we need to write. Grade 1 to grade 2 to grade 4 is 2 to 4 to 3. A student passed if she received a grade 1, 2, or grade 3, right? Now, if there are 120 students in the whole circle, right? And this part here is 39. What is this part here? The whole circle is 120. This part here is 39. What is this piece here? How many students must this represent? The whole circle is 120. How much would this part represent if this share is 39? What is this piece here?
81.
Very good. So this part here will represent 120 minus 39, which is 81. Is there anybody who doesn't understand that? So it is like I give you $120. You go and you spend $39. So the remainder that you have to spend is $81. Now, I told you for the ratio, everything in the question. So therefore, the total number of shares, 2 plus 4 plus 3, which is 4 and 2, which is 9. 9 shares must be equal to 81 students. So take down that for me and find how much is 1 share. Take it down and find for me how much is 1 share. How much is 1 share? How many students is 1 share?
Minus
Right, very good. 81 divided by 9. This is 9 students. Now let us examine exactly what this means, because some of you still don't understand ratio. So let us see what this means. 2, 4, 3. 2 shares will be 2 by 9. 4 shares, 4 by 9. And 3 shares, 3 by 9. Work out that for me. Two by 9 is how much?
18.
Yes. 9 fours, 36 and 27. Somebody quickly with your calculator, add these 3 for me. Add these 3 figures.
81.
So do you see that all the students are accounted for? All the 81 students in the ratio? So really and truly, grade 1, we have 18 students. Grade 2, sorry, we have 36 students. And grade 4, we have 27. They are asking you how many passed. So the number of students getting grade 1 is 18. The number of students getting grade 2 is 36. And the number of students getting a grade 3 is 39. So add those numbers to me. What is the total?
93.
93. So do you understand how to do the ratio? Is anybody confused, or is anybody still, you don't know what to do with the ratio question? Do you all understand it a little bit better now?
Yes, miss.
Determine the sector angle for grade 1. So we're going back now. Grade 1 represents how many? 18. So here, this is 18. Grade 2 is 36 and 27. So the sector angle will be 18 over the total. So the sector angle is the number of students who have a grade 1 over the total number of students multiplied by 360 degrees, because there are 360 degrees in a circle. Work that out for me. All right, so you are supposed to put 18 over 120 multiplied by 360 degrees, and the answer is 54 degrees. Did you all get that?
Yeah,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Right. Turn to page 84 now. Turn to page 84. This is Jan 2020, page 84. Is it found?
Yes, miss.
A group of how many students? Well, let us underline it. We know our distribution is 100. This is a cumulative frequency curve because of the shape. We want to find the median, so the data is grouped. Median is a half of n. How much is n here? How much is n?
100.
Right. So it's a half of 100. So it is the 50th value. Please do not put 50 for the median. The median is not 50. It is the 50th value. So go to your graph, find 50 and read off the value for me, please. This is 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. So each small block represents 0.2. All right. Who has an answer?
3.2, miss.
Very good. 3.2. Did anybody else get that? Right. So it's 3.2 grams, 1 mark. You didn't have to work out nothing. All you had to do was to read it off from the graph. We go in again. Right here, Q2 for me. Q2 is the median. The upper quartile. Well, there are 2 quartiles, upper and lower. And I know quartiles. It comes from the word a quarter. And a quarter means something is divided into 4 parts. So upper quartile will be the higher of all the quartiles. So upper quartile will be 3/4 in. And what is N? Well, N is the number of students. 3/4 of 100. Work out that for me.
$75.
So don't write 75 and leave it just so. It is the 75th value. So anybody could write 75, but the student who knows what they are doing will go back to the graph and read off the 75th value. So we go in. Well, let me watch this graph. So 72, 74, 76. So 75 would lie in between 72 and 74 and 76. And my line are drawing straight here. So as straight as you could, draw the line across and come downward. This is Q3. Now we know this is 4.2 and we know this one is 4.4. So it is in between. So what is that value? What is the value in between then?
4.3.
4.3. So there's no reason to get this question wrong. 4.3, look where it lies, in between 4.2 and 4.4. Now we have something called the SIQR, which is the semi-interquartile range. Well, I already tell you that the quartile separates the data into 4. So the semi-interquartile, we must have the lower quartile. And if you look at the marking scheme here, this is 2 marks, whereas this was 1 mark. So here you have to do 2 steps. So we have to find the lower quartile. And if the upper is 3/4, then common sense will tell us the lower will be 1/4. 1/4 of n. Well, what is n? N is 100. So 1/4 of 100, we are looking for the 25th value. So you're going back to the graph and you are reading off the 25th value. So let's see. We counted in twos again. 22, 24. Going straight across and we coming straight down. This one falling in the middle and all too. So this is 2.2, 2.4. What is midway in between 2.2 and 2.4?
2.3.
Yes, very good, 2.3. So this is 2.3 grams. So this, the marker, will give you 1 mark, but we're not finished yet. It worth 2 marks. So the semi-interquartile range is half of the upper quartile minus the lower quartile. Half 4.3 minus 2.3. Work on that. All right. Who has an answer? This is a half of 2. The answer is 1 gram. Did anybody get it?
Yes, miss.
All right. The number of students whose estimate is 2.8 grams or less. So here what they're asking. The number of students whose estimate is 2.8 grams or less. So go to the graph and find 2.8. So 2.8 is here because this is 2.4, 2.6, this is 2.8. So draw a line up to the curve and read off this value here for me. And these students had a mass less than 2.8. Less than or equal to 2.8. Read up the value. What's this value here? 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. Did anybody get 38?
Yes, miss.
So let's go. 38 what? 38 students. Now, I want to tell you something. I want you to remember. Whenever CSEC brings cumulative frequency, which is the total coming down, you are almost always required to find the original frequency values. So in part B, use the cumulative frequency curve to find the frequency. So 0 to 2, that is 20. Let's go and see. So 0 to 2, here this is 20. So look at this. I'll clear up some space on my graph so we can understand what's going on here. Zero to 2 is 20. Right? We're going again. 2 to 4 now. So we're going up to 4. 2 to 4. This value here is how many? What is this value here?
68.
68. So what is the difference? How many students in this category did?
$48.
48. Is there anybody who doesn't understand how I am getting the frequency values? So if they give us the frequency to find the CF, we add, it is the total coming down. If they give us the CF and we have to find the frequency, we subtract. So 48 students had a mass between 2 and 4 grams. So let's write that. So here, this is 48. How many students in the distribution? What was the number of students N? How much was it? How many students in the distribution? 10, 20, 100, 200. How many students? How many students in the distribution?
100, miss.
100. So what number should here be if this total is 100?
25.
25. So there was no need to work out anything again. And this is 2 marks. So you get 1 mark here, you get 1 mark here. And the cumulative frequency, 20, 68, 93, 99, 100. So this is 100. So what I'm saying to you, if they bring the CF and you have to work out the frequency, you subtract the numbers. So the difference here is 48, the difference here is 25, the difference here is 6, the difference here is 1. A student is chosen at random. Find the probability that the estimated mass is greater than 6. So this is 6. M is greater than 6. What we want? The probability that a student. So the probability that a student has a mass greater than 6. So it is the number of students with a mass greater than 6 over the total number of students. How many students have a mass greater than 6? How many masses are there greater than 6? Is this here greater than 6? And this one greater than 6?
Yes, miss.
So 6 plus 1 over 100. The answer, 7 over 100. These masses are greater than 6. So take it out. All right, is anybody still writing? Is anyone still writing?
No, miss.
All right, so it is 2 minutes past 12. Let us take a break. You will return at 12:15. The cumulative frequency distribution of the volume of petrol needed to fill the tank of 150 vehicles are shown below. Whenever CSEC brings cumulative frequency, I want you to extend your table and find frequency for me. So remember we did that from the curve. They could bring it from the curve or they could bring it from the table. So we're going to find the frequency values. So extend your table and find the frequency values. Now, the first one is 24. The second one will be 59 minus 24. Then we have 101 minus 59, 129 minus 101, and 150 minus 129. So go ahead, find for me the frequency values. All right, do you all have the values for the frequency column?
Yes, miss.
All right, so you have these values: 24, 35, 42, 28, and 21. Do you all have that?
Yes, miss.
All right, find the total for me and see how much you get. Did you all get 100? Did you all get 100? The sum
Yes.
of these numbers is 100, right?
Yes, miss.
Now, this wasn't required as yet, but whenever they give you CF, you find the frequency because that is what they will want you to find. So that is why we did it in the earlies. In the question, we have to use it, but we want to work it out in the earlies, right? For 21 to 30, determine the lower class boundary and the class width. So I am giving you 3 minutes. You write something in your booklet. What you think the lower class boundary is for the interval 21 to 30, and what is the class width? So go ahead. All right, let's go. This is called the lower class limit. This is called the upper class limit. For the lower class boundary or the LCB, this is the lower class limit minus 0.5, because the difference between these two values is 1. And when we divide it by 2, we will get 0.5. So 21 minus 0.5, the answer is 20.5. Did you all get it? Did you all get the lower class boundary as 20.5? All right, for the class width, I want you to find the upper class boundary, which is the upper class limit plus 0.5. And the formula for the class width is the upper class boundary minus the lower class boundary. Work it out. All right, so we are supposed to have 30 plus 0.5, 30.5. Did you all get that?
Yes, miss.
And the class width 30.5 minus 20.5, the class width is 10. Did you all get 10 for the class fit? All right, let's go. How many vehicles were recorded in the interval 31 to 40? So if you go here and you read off this value, that is incorrect. This is the cumulative frequency. This is the total coming down. What they are asking you to find is the frequency. So the frequency value is 42. That is why at the start of the class, I told you, whenever you see CF, you work backwards and find the frequency. Because chances are you will always have to use the frequency in the question. So the answer here is not 101. Anybody could read off that. So what they are testing you on your ability to know, to find the frequency, you have to subtract. So the answer is 42. Right? So that was not too bad because we went ahead and we found the frequency. A vehicle is chosen at random from 150 vehicles. What is the probability that the volume needed to fill the tank is more than 50.5? So more than 50.5. So this interval here is from 50.5 to 60.5. So this interval here uses more than 50.5. This interval uses up to 50.5. But the question didn't ask that. They say more than. So how many cars use petrol more than 50.5? What is the value? How many vehicles are we looking at? How many vehicles use fuel more than 50.5?
21.
21. So that is why at the start of the question, I told you to work out the frequency. Because here what? Children will see cumulative frequency and they will say, okay, this is 150. 150 is wrong. The answer here is 21. Because 21 cars used that volume of petrol. So the probability of a vehicle more than 50.5 is the number of vehicles that requires petrol more than 50.5 over the total number. So it is 21 over 150. What number could go into 21 and 150? What number can divide into 21 and 150? Nobody knows? What number can divide into 21 and 150?
3.
So 7 3s are 21 and 50 by 3 is 150. So the answer is 7 over 50. So take it out. All right, is anybody still writing? Is anybody still writing?
No, miss.
Byron, estimates the median. So right away, the median is a half of n, and n is 150. So we are looking at the 75th value. So Byron estimated the median to be 43.5. So we have to go back to the table to see where does that value lie. So the median, because it is grouped data, it is half of the CF. So 75, so we're going to count. So 24, sorry. Then we add 35, we will get 59. Did we reach number 75 as yet?
No, miss.
Right. So therefore, if we add 42, we will get number 75 here. So the 75th value would lie somewhere in this interval. But Byron estimated the median to be 43.5. So Byron is wrong because the median is supposed to be in this interval. So if he had put 33.5, he would have been correct. But Byron is incorrect because the interval for the median is 31 to 40. So let's write that. So the median interval is 31 to 40. So Byron is incorrect. Remember, the median, we go to the table and we read off the values. All right, let's go. On the partially labeled grid, construct a histogram to represent the distribution of volume of petrol needed to fill the tank. So watch this. If you did not find the frequency, you would have used these values. But when you go to the grid, the highest value is 40. So that is supposed to give you an indication that you have to find the frequency values from the cumulative frequency. And to plot a histogram, we need two sets of data. We need the upper quartile, we need the quartiles, no, not the quartiles, the boundaries, and we need the frequency. So let us extend our table on this side and find the boundaries. So we extend the table, and I want you to find the lower class boundary and the upper class boundary for each class interval. So go ahead, find it for me. Because we need that. We need that, and we need this to plot the graph.
Finish, Miss.
All right, so we have 10.5, 20.5, 20.5, 30.5, 30.5, 40.5, 40.5, 50.5, 50.5, 60.5. Do you all have that?
Yes, Miss.
Notice that these numbers are the same because for a histogram, the bars are joined together. And the class width is the difference here, and the class width is 10. So the bars are equally of equal width. So we're going from 10.5 all the way to 60.5. So let's go on our graph. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Label the axes, please. This represents volume in liters. So the first one is 10.5, 20.5, and that has a cumulative frequency of 24. So let's plot that. So 10.5 is just 0.5 after, and we go in. Remember, you're not falling on 10, is 10.5. We're going straight up to 24. And this, we're going straight up here to 24. So it helps by writing the number on top as well. Then the next one is 35. So we're going straight up to 35. Notice that my bars are joined together. This is 35. The second one, 42. So we're going straight up here. 2 more than 40 is 42. This one's a little long. This one is 42. Then the next one is 48. Sorry, 28. 28. 28. Coming straight down. And the last one is 21. So remember, the values are 0.5, so it does not lie exactly, right? On the line, it's a little bit after. So go ahead and complete the histogram, and you would have scored 3 marks. Are you all finished?
Yeah, miss.
All right, so we have one more to do. Let's go. Turn to page 15 in the booklet. Page 15 of the paper 2. This is the one with Digilec and Wiretech. So this is Jan 2019. It's on page 15. Let me know when you all find it. All right, is it all found?
Yes, miss.
All right, so go ahead. You're doing the first part for me, and you're finding the sector angles for each of the following. Find for me part 1, and you're finding for me the sector angles for Wiretech, Digilec, and other. Go ahead. All right. If the information is to be represented on a pie chart, what is the angle for the sector represented O4? So it is 40 persons in the survey, so we need to underline that. For O4, so the sector angle representing O4, it is 10 over 48 multiplied by 360 degrees. So 10 divided by 48 multiplied by 360 is 75 degrees. Did you all get that? Did you all get that value? All right, wire tech now, 20 over 48 by 360. Digilec, 12 over 48 by 360. Other 6 over 48 by 360. For wire tech, we are looking at 150 degrees. For Digilec, we are looking at 90 degrees. And for other, we are looking at 45 degrees. Did you all get that? Did you all get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, let's go. So for this, you will just use this as the baseline and you will draw the angles. So you'll use your protractor and you will measure the angles. This is 90 degrees. This is Digilec. Then we have 150 degrees. We can label this wire tech. So when you get some time, you can draw in the angles. Then we have 75 degrees and 45. So 75 degrees, we will call this O1. And this 45 degree, we will call this other. So it's something like this. You don't have to draw it exactly how I have it, but something along this line is how the pie chart should look. Any questions?
No.
Right, let's do this one. So a girl is chosen at random. Determine the probability that she achieves a grade 1. So the number of girls receiving a grade 1 is 62. So the probability that a girl receives a grade 1 is the number of girls who get a grade 1 over the total number of girls. So 62 of them receive a grade 1. The total number of girls is 250. We can divide each number by 2. We will get 31 over 125. So take that down. Let's look at the last part. All right. What percentage of boys achieved grade 1 to 3? So if we have 200 boys and 38 received grades 4 and 5, how many boys received 1 to 3? How would we work on that? how would we work out the number of boys receiving grades 1 to 3?
200 subtracted 8.
200 minus 38, which is 162. Because in total, all the boys should give us 200. So they ask for the percentage. So the percentage would be 162 over the total number of boys, which is 200. Yes, it's 200 multiplied by 100%. So work out that for me. $162 divided by 200 multiplied by 100%. What is the answer?
81.
81. Now, at this level, you are not expected to calculate the standard deviation, but you are expected to know what it means. So let's write this, and this is important. A data set with a large standard deviation, so this is the abbreviated form, from the mean is widely spread. So we will call this one. Number 2 now, a data set with a small standard deviation from the mean has its data bunched together. So we will go to the table just now. So write down that. All right, so let's look at the values. The standard deviation of the boys is larger than the girls. So if you don't know nothing about standard deviation, you could write that, because that is visible. That is what we can read from the table. The standard deviation of the boys is larger than the girls. So that is one thing we can write. The standard deviation of the boys is larger than the standard deviation of the girls. So it's only 1 mark, so you can write one thing. Also, you can say, since the standard deviation of the boys is larger, the data is widely spread, and for the girls, the data is closer. So a big standard deviation means the data is spread out. A small standard deviation means that the data is more bunched together, meaning that the data is closer together. All right? So that brings us to the end of question 5 of the CSEC paper, which is the statistics and probability.